The distance is 8 laps. Edging around, turns 3 and 4. Doug Clark taking a long look. Green is out, and here we go. Chad trying to lead the field down the front straightaway. Mather up on the outside. Randy Miller in that 2D racing second. Scramble back there for 4th and 5th as Steve Wares tries a little move back there. Race leader is Mike Chad. Newman in the 18, Wares in the 10. Rounding out the top 5, Mike Chad still leading the field down the back straightaway. Randy Miller, Brett Mather, Tim Newman. And it's hang to your hat out there right now. Mike Chad grabbing the early advantage, trying to hold off Randy Miller. Of course, every spot that you can pick up here equally is important here in the point battle. And a little pass back in the field. Gary Lee Meyer, keep your eye on the red and yellow car. He gets a pass off Tim Newman. He's working the bottom and showing some speed down there, and he's still down low, working this time on Brett Mather, and he might pick another one up. Gary Lee Meyer in the 11X car, down on the inside and working. Meyer and Mather side by each down the back straightaway now, and Gary Lee Meyer showing why. A 2-time past champion here of this event brings the 11X to 3rd. Miller now trying to close in on the race leader, Mike Chad, and challenge for that spot. Mather still 4th down the back straightaway. Chad showing the way, still a little time here in the event. First heat of the evening or afternoon. Mather now, Tim Newman in the 18, and Steve Wares bunching up that 4th, 5th, and 6th place positions. Out of turn 2, and Newman up over the berm a little bit, but doesn't slow him down any. He continues to close in on Mather. White flag. One more to go. Randy Miller has closed in a couple of times, but now it's Gary Lee Meyer. We'll see if he's able to race up off the bottom a little bit. Randy Miller seems to like it down low so far. Meyer right in on the bumper. They'll race to the checkered flag. Mike Chad, the 4C, the 2D of Randy Miller. You're here to see some racing. You're going to see some tonight. Dave Hesmer sitting on that front row on the inside. Edging around turns 4, looking to go green, got it, and it's Hesper grabbing the early advantage. Middle Sword on the inside row in the 7, trying to move up there. Jeff Young in the 29A down the back straightaway. Middle Sword trying to move up into 2nd. Hesmer well off in the lead right now, and that 9H car of Larry Pinniger. And some racing on back in the field. Brent Antill. And the yellow coming out. Hesmer trying to pick up right where he left off, and Brent Antill putting it up there high and trying to advance the spot. He gets into the turns well, but see if he can hang on to her up there. That blue 66 back there, right behind Larry Pinniger, and the yellow again coming out as a couple of cars getting sideways just outside of turn 4. Trying some different approaches here to getting around the half mile. Green is out, and here we go. Hesmer back out in front with the early advantage. And keeping it down low. Middle Sword still racing 2nd down the back straightaway. Young in that 3rd position, and now Pinniger trying to move up from his 4th place spot here in this 2nd 8-lap heat event of the evening. Hesmer still leading, and now a little action back for 3rd. Young and Pinniger, and now Jennington trying to get underneath. Can't quite get it on that trip around. Drops back into the 5th place spot. Pinniger still 4th, and Hesmer kite string out. Wick turned up here at Knoxville. Shows the way. Middleswart still 2nd. And Till still working back in that blue 66, but unable to pick up a spot, at least for now. And Jennington again, working on Young. And that 4th place spot, Jennington out of the turn 2. Down the back straightaway, picks up the spot. Now races 4th, and this time down. White flag for Hesmer. Hesmer, Middleswart, Pinniger. Oh, and racing back in the field. Liebig getting by Young. And some good racing on back there. Young again now trying to come back on Liebig. Checkered flag for Hesmer down the straightaway. All right, the pace vehicle is in, and field coming up now. Tail to nose and wheel to wheel, getting ready to come to the white line, and the green flag coming out, and we're underway. And some good racing as they race into the first turn and down the front straightaway. Larry Neighbors up into 3rd, getting by a couple of cars. Are getting off to a good start here. Racing 3rd, Joe Beavers in that 2nd place spot in the 53. The race leader right now, Dennis Moore Jr. Neighbors now down on the inside, trying for 2nd, can't get it done. And right now, Larry Ball Jr. and Brian Castine. Ball up a little bit high, and sneaking by on the inside is Terry Alexander now. Up into that 6th spot, and Dennis Moore Jr. leading the field as the yellow comes out for a car in turn 3. Edging around turns 3 and 4, looking to get to the white line, and then the cone, and the green coming out for the line, and passing beginning at the cone. And right away, Neighbors tries high on Beaver, no can do there. Castine looking strong out of the turn again. Neighbors down on the inside. Don Drought in there as well, and hang on, Larry Neighbors trying to bring it to 2nd, and he does. The 29 in now races 2nd and trying to close in on the race leader. Larry Ball Jr. up to 5th in the 5J and challenging on the inside. Castine trying his luck on the middle of the racetrack right now. It's Ball and Castine racing for 4th around turns 3 and now 4. Leader still Dennis Moore Jr. Castine's got it set up well to run up off of the bottom a little bit. Now working on Joe Beaver for 3rd. Here comes your race leader, Dennis Moore Jr. in the 71. Racing 2nd, Larry Neighbors, and trying to reel him in, but right now the action is for 4th. Castine and Larry Ball Jr. getting after it here in heat number 3. Castine a little high now, and Don Drought sneaks by on the bottom. Still plenty of time in this one. Ball and Drought, Castine settles back behind them now. Joe Beavers in that 3rd position. This time down, white flag coming out. Race leader, Dennis Moore Jr. Larry Neighbors. And back a bit for 3rd is Joe Beaver. And the race still is Drought challenging Larry Ball. The 5J, and now the 1M of Don Drought Jr. down the back straightaway. Checkered flag for Dennis Moore. Watching Thursday night's scheduled heats here on this Friday evening. And the cars edging around turns 3 and 4. Getting set to go here as Doug Clark, your starter, looks long and hard down that straightaway and looking to the white line. Green comes out, and here we go. Danley grabs the early advantage in the 4J. Danny Wood, the 21W, and the 91C of Tim Crawley now. A little racing on back, but right now a race for the lead as Danny Wood comes to the outside, Crawley to the middle. Danley trying to hold them both at bay. A three-way battle for the lead with Jason Danley in the 4J on the inside. The 21W of Danny Wood on the outside. He may have him, and he does. Danley drops back to second. Wood now the race leader, Tim Crowley, in at third, and Morrow races fourth. Danny Wood, the 21W, looking strong, and the race picking up again for second. Crawley on the outside of Danley. Racing side by side out of turn two, Crowley now, and Danley says no, at least for now, and Morrow still in at fourth. Leader, the 21W, Danny Wood. And a great race going on now for second. Leader still Wood, and the race still going on for that second place spot. Danley and Crowley again on the outside of Jason Danley, down the back straight and into the turn. Danley hanging on to that bottom, and Crowley trying right in the middle of the racetrack, and things starting to pick up just a little bit in the middle. And some racing going on. Some of the racers trying that spot and having some luck with it now. Crowley, one of them. And the yellow coming out once again. Car slowing and stopping just at the end of the back straightaway. 2 to go. And the green flag is back out. By the cone they go, and Crowley again working on Danley. That race for second. Around 1 and 2. Morrow still races fourth now. Billy Ray Olson in the 92 in the 5th position, and this time down they'll be looking at the white flag. One more lap to go. Whoa, Danley a little sideways and loses a couple of spots, and now Morrow on the inside of Crowley. He says no, at least for now. Crowley in at second. Race leader is still Wood. Down the back straightaway they'll be coming to the checkered flag this time. Danley goes to fourth now. Checkered flag coming out, it's Danny Wood. Slowly down the back straightaway with Eddie Levitt Jr. on the outside. Jesse Giannetto and Tim Deaver in row 2, Roger Rager and Nick Haygood. Snodgrass and Howard in row 4, and Larry Weeks in the 00. We'll try it once more. Green is out again. Bankston down the turn into the early advantage, and Rager comes to third behind Eddie Levitt Jr. Giannetto now challenging Rager for third in the turn. Rager says no, at least for now. Leader is still Bankston in the 8 car. Roger Rager in at second, but right now it's the 8 of John Bankston, and some passing going on in the back of the field. Dale Howard in that 47. Oh, hang on. Eddie Levitt Jr. racing third. Giannetto is fourth. Snodgrass fifth. And Deaver in the 34. Again, Dale Howard in the 47 now, this time